Good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Tuesday, the 14th of October, 2025. All right, we're about 5:55 p.m. Remember, I am going to have my back operation. So many of you have written me kind words. I really appreciate it, by the way. I bust my butt here for you. I hope you understand that. And it becomes fun doing this all the time. So don't look for me tomorrow. I'm not certain I'll even be able to do one on Thursday. We'll find out depending on how the doctors say I'll be and how my back feels. Just standing here hurts like heck. All right. As we go together on this, the Mortgage Bankers Association will come out at 6 in the morning. The New York Fed, the Empire State Survey is coming out. They're looking for that to come out at a negative. Let me put it right. They had a negative 8.7. They're thinking it's going to improve to only a minus 1.8. The Fed Beige book will come out, and then we'll find out what the different regions are saying about the economy at 1 o'clock. API numbers, they're going to be a day late. They'll be tomorrow, EIA the day after. And keep your eye out for when the natural gas comes out. President Trump just can't control himself. So now, because things might slow down, he threatens China that he's not going to buy cooking oil for them in retaliation for them going further and further with the rare earths and other things that they want. You do know that they did go after shipping subsidiaries we have with South Korea. So this thing has still not calmed itself down. As much as we keep hearing from Jameson Greer and Scott Bessent, blah, 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 it's the president's game. The Fed talk tomorrow is going to be Moran, and Schmidt will speak. Stellantis decided to commit $13 billion now to building the Jeeps and the Ram trucks. They're going to increase them, hiring 5,000 people, getting back the Belvedere plant in Illinois to operation. There's a number of good things there. Bad things were GM wrote down $1.6 billion. You heard me, $1.6 billion via electronic development of cars because the demand just isn't there. Okay, got to do what you got to do. So let's go now to see what's going on. Let's just go to the charts as my back's killing me. In the S&P for the week, you're still up 1.4%. So the market's doing fine. It's still hanging in there near the highs. Volatility, this is a dream for those of you that volatility trade because it's every which way. For the time being, the short-term trend turned down. You now have lower highs and certainly lower lows in the market. The market's fighting a battle against the 18-day average of closes. When we look at the weekly S&P 500, you can see that you keep coming down to the Bollinger Band, holding it and then making runs back towards the 18-day average. Momentum is pointing down as well. In the Nasdaq, it's lower highs, lower lows, same thing. Down into the 18-day average. This is a very defined trading range right now. My own take on this is I'd like the markets to break down a bit more. I do believe that will be your buying opportunities going into year end. The question is it going to be later in October or November? But I do believe we'll get back on track unless the trade deal gets absolutely out of hand. And the other thing, of course, is the government shutdown. Right now, you're operating without the government, in theory, operating. You got to put more pressure on Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, to find a way to get through that impasse. I don't have the solution, but that's what the people of the country have to do. In the Dow, you've got a different pattern here. You got higher lows, higher highs, and into the 18-day average for the resistance in the market. So it's fascinating, but they're all doing similar things. And this morning, if you were a subscriber of mine, I said, folks, the Russell's acting the strongest. It was up, and as it turns out, it went up for contract highs. Pretty important in here. Why? Because interest rates are falling. If you look at home builders, XHB, ITB, you see that they were up pretty strong today. So the market's counting and hoping that those rate cuts are going to come and that the marketplace is also going to drop interest rates. We'll see. In the DAX, just yesterday, I told you, keep your eye on the 100-day average. That's where the battleground is with the 18-day. And as you can see, that's where you're at, but the bias is still questionable here. 10-year notes, and this is what I'm talking about, interest rates, you can see they're pushing the upper Bollinger Band. The highest high isn't far away. We'll see what goes on there. Same in the 2-year notes. In the dollar index, you keep getting to the upper levels and falling back. But it's certainly not bearish. You'd have to get the red line here closing under 79 while I'm gone to say, what Ira said is that could be the sign the market needs to correct. And you'd have to, in the euro, get a flip-flop here where this market turns itself up to get that done as well. So you put it all together, you're trying to come up with game plans. In the Aussie dollar, it's still very bearish, running the lower Bollinger Band, but very oversold. Bitcoin, you do realize this is a market that was just shy of 127,000. Today it got back to 110,000. So we're getting a meltdown of price right now. Okay, it doesn't change the picture. This market's certainly not what gold is. It is not proven it's the standard that people run to in dire times when they don't know what inflation is going to do and the like. Now, yesterday, if you remember, I was talking about OPEC and how prices, if you will, they said, no problem. Prices are going to stay up. There's strong demand. The IEA today came out with a complete different story. They're looking for about a 4,000 barrel a day increase in 2026. They're looking for the market to drop from current levels as much as 10 to 14% during that year. That's not a crash, but it doesn't help get U.S. production going up because the lower it goes, our producers aren't seeming to want to do anything. You can see how the pressure has been on the market all through here. Heating oil as well, and last, the natural gas still under that pressure. So you look at it, you try to come up with a game plan, and that's what I'll try to do for you when I get back from my surgery, which ideally they operate in the morning and I'm home in the evening. We'll find out. In any case, you can sign up for the research up here. You can look at the icon if you're watching me on the website. Do so and you get advantage of taking a look at all I do. I have every intent of waking up in the morning tomorrow and doing for my paid subscribers the morning subscriber video. There will not be a morning flash update maybe for the next 2 days. We'll see how I feel. I'm Ira. You have a great one. I'll catch up with you all later.